This is the Factor Ostro VAM, Factor's all-around Pro Tour level race bike. And this is the all-new Factor Monza, which on the surface looks very similar to the Ostro. But if you spend some time looking at the two of them, you'll probably be able to spot a few key differences. And those differences are largely a result of Factor's target audience for this bike. Rather than being designed for World Tour level racing, this bike was designed for racers with a 9-to-5 who need a bike that can perform on race day and also be well equipped for a normal training day out. In this video, we'll dive into what sets these two bikes apart and why the Monza might make more sense for the average racer and rider. Factor's been around since 2007, originally developing tech for big brands and F1 teams. But they launched their own bikes in 2013, and they've been pushing high-performance design in cycling ever since. They've made a name for themselves with models like the Ostro VAM and the O2 VAM, which you've probably seen ridden at the World Tour level by Israel Premier Tech. The Monza is their newest road bike, and it sits in just below the Ostro VAM in the lineup. It's still a fast, aero-focused bike, but it's been designed with more input from everyday riders. People who want race bike performance without the full-on race bike fit. Think of it as a high-performance aero bike that's built for real-world riding. The Monza was designed from the ground up to be fast but also practical. One of the standout features is the internal storage system, something not normally found on race bikes. It's super easy to access and gives you room for a tube, tire levers, and CO2, the usual ride essentials. It's a super clean solution that makes the bike more practical for everyday riding, and it's actually more aero than running a saddlebag. The front end of the bike is also worth talking about. Factor developed a brand new black ink bar and stem combo just for the Monza. It has a more classic shape than what you'll find on the Ostro, with a rounder profile and more traditional ergonomics. Like all black ink setups, it has fully integrated cable routing and looks really clean. The Monza comes in two builds, Shimano Ultegra Di2 and SRAM Force AXS with a power meter. Both come with black ink 45 wheels, and both are priced at just under $10,000 Canadian. I think the price point is kind of interesting. When I first heard that it was going to be coming in around $9,000, I was worried that it was a bit of a miss and that most people looking at bikes that were around that price point were probably going to jump up to the Factor Ostro VAM, seeing as it was about $3,000 more. However, the more I've reflected on it, the more I've kind of realized that there is a bit of a price vector there, and this is 25% less than the comparable Ostro VAM. So there is a good value proposition with this bike, especially when you consider the added features like the internal frame storage. It does start to make sense. Compared to the Ostro, the geometry on the Monza is a bit more relaxed. It has a 1 centimeter taller stack and a 5 mil shorter reach, so you're in a slightly more upright position. The tubing is also a bit different, still aero but less aggressively so. It uses a slightly less aero seat post and has more traditional tube shaping overall. The bar is another key difference. The Ostro uses a proprietary one-piece aero bar, while the Monza's front end is also a one-piece bar. It's a bit more of a classic top shape, making it more approachable for the average rider. It's also a bit heavier than the Ostro, and not quite as stiff. That's kind of the whole point of this bike. The Monza's frame is more compliant, and it's better suited to longer days in the saddle, rougher roads, or just riders who don't want something quite as stiff and aggressive as an Ostro. It's still a very fast bike, but the focus is more on versatility and comfort than all-out speed. We've had a chance to ride the Monza, and it delivers exactly what it promises. It doesn't have that super snappy, immediate response you get from the Ostro, but it feels more planted and stable, especially at speed or on rougher pavement. It's noticeably more comfortable and just has this really calm and composed ride feel that still manages to feel fast and efficient when you're pushing it. It's a bike that encourages you to go long and go fast. So who's the Monza for? The Monza is perfect for anyone who wants a race bike that's a bit more forgiving. If you're doing long training rides, Fondo style events, or just want something fast that doesn't beat you up, it's a great option. It's also ideal for riders who want a slightly more upright position without giving up the aero benefits of a modern race bike. It'll also let you slam your stem without totally messing up your back. It's really cool to see Factor take all of the aero knowledge and high performance design they've developed at the top end of the spectrum and apply that to something a bit more accessible and practical for the everyday rider. The Monza is still very much a performance bike. It just happens to be one you'll happily ride every single day.